My name is Betti Mbala, and I am an international business major at EKU and an African American Studies minor. I first heard about AFA my freshman year in college. I had happened to be walking down the halls of a building on campus, and I saw a flyer for the AFA club. And when I saw African American program club, I thought, I need to go there. I need to figure out what's going on. I want to be a part of this. So I went to that meeting that day, and I met quite a few people that would end up changing my life, actually, and made my experience at EKU so much better. I met some faculty on campus. One professor in particular, Dr. Reed, ended up becoming instrumental in me choosing to be an international business major. I met, of course, Dr. Naramale and Evelyn Jones in the AFA office, who persuaded me to join the program and to take AFA on as a minor. And I also ended up deciding to work for AFA. I ended up working in the program for about a year and a half. And everything just started from there. When I finally decided to make the decision to become an AFA minor, it was more so a need that I felt because at the time, my freshman year, I had just gotten back from the Democratic Republic of Congo, where I am originally from, and I had finished my high school there. However, I was born in Lexington, Kentucky. And so I had only been in Congo for a few years, and then I had to come back here for college. And when I came here for college, I still felt that there were a lot of things about my community and about my society that I didn't understand about, you know, even though I had lived in Africa and I lived in Congo, an African country, I still felt there was just a lot that puzzled me about African government, African society, African culture. And also, having been born in the United States and having lived here for the first half of my life, I still had issues bridging the gap between what it is to be an American, what it is to be an African, and how did I fit in the middle. I still felt I had some type of issues with bridging those differences. So basically, I decided to get an AFA minor because I wanted to learn more about America and about Africa and how they fit together. And that was the best decision I made coming to EKU my freshman year when I decided to be a minor. I changed my major a few times, but my minor always remained the same. And now I'm graduating with a degree in international business, and African American Studies fits perfectly with that. Taking AFA courses has opened my mind in so many ways and on so many levels. I learned very instrumental things in class. I took a class, Black Women in History. That class blew my mind. It was the first semester that class was offered. And I'll never forget all the things that I learned about how Black women have contributed to American society. And that just made me proud, because in no class have I ever learned what my role as a woman or a Black woman particularly is and how I contributed to that. But also, taking courses in African American Studies, I realized it wasn't just about being African, it wasn't just about African history or African American history. It was about learning, almost as if it was about learning world history from an African perspective, what the contribution of African people and African American people are in the society, and how they've worked together with other people of different backgrounds, of different races, to form some great communities, and how they've contributed to this country, to the continent of Africa, and to other areas all around the world. And also just being a member of the AFA program, I got to travel all over the country. I remember my first trip that was sponsored by AFA. They gave me a scholarship. They paid for my trip to go to New Orleans to volunteer with alternative spring break that's offered here on campus. Any major, any minor can go, but AFA actually paid my way. They paid my dues to go. And I went and I volunteered in 2007 in New Orleans, Louisiana, right after, a few years after the Hurricane Katrina incident. And that was the beginning of everything. That fueled my passion to volunteer as much as I can. And ever since AFA paid my way for that first volunteer trip, I've volunteered once or twice a year, every year since I've been in college, in some city in America. I've been to New Orleans 4 times. I've helped rebuild homes there through AFA. And I've been all over. Through AFA as well, I got to assist I guess one of the most historical events probably of the 21st century. I got to go to President Obama's inauguration. And I think that is a story that I will be telling my kids for, my kids, my grandkids and my great-grandkids if I get to see them. And I was able to go to that inauguration in Washington, D.C. through AFA. But also, AFA has provided me opportunities to grow as a person, but also to give back as a person. And I feel like I have grown so much as an individual through the courses that I've taken, and also through the real life experiences that I've been able to undertake with AFA. Like, I've also volunteered to help mentor students that were previously incarcerated and wanted to get back into school or had been expelled by their previous school. And I was able to go to Memphis, Tennessee through AFA to really mentor these high school students who most of them had no intention of going to college, but really just talk to them and say, hey, you can go to college too. If I did it, you can do it, and you can be a better person, and there's nothing holding you back. And AFA gave me that sense of satisfaction to be able to say, well, I'm moving forward and I can help people move forward as well. So I think that's one of the biggest gifts that AFA has given back to me, and I'm very proud to say that I was able to do that. Also, my professional career, AFA has been instrumental. I think just by learning a little bit more of where I come from and how I fit into the world as an individual and how the people around me fit, and just know how we're all pieces of the same puzzle and how we're making this society a greater place and a bigger place. AFA has given me a bigger and a better sense of self, and it's given me an extra boost in my confidence level. And I've been able to just soar from there. I think AFA was the first home that I had at EKU. And joining AFA has given me the tools that I need to know that I can succeed and that nothing is holding me back, and there are no excuses. It doesn't matter what race you are. There's no excuse to not do your best. There's no excuse to not try harder. And there's no excuse to not be aware of the people that are around you. AFA has fueled also my passion to understand people of other races and of other cultures, not just to understand myself better, but to understand the people around me better. How do we work together to make this community a better place? And because of that, I've really been able to reach new heights. And like I said, through AFA, I ended up meeting the person who became my advisor in the business program. And through his excellent advising skills, he really pushed me to the limit. And I've been able to just really accomplish a lot of things through the business program by winning the Entrepreneurial Business Concept Challenge. That was a big deal for me. And so I really think overall, what I would say to someone who is curious about joining AFA, no matter where you're from, no matter what your ethnic background is, African American studies is crucial to your development as a person. It will allow you to understand our society better. It'll allow you to understand how you fit into the society, how you can help people who may have a similar ethnic background as you or a different ethnic background as you, how you can work with them, how you can work together to make this society better. But then also how you can become a better person, what you need to do, where you need to go. AFA will challenge you in the classroom. You will learn topics that you've never learned in any other area before. But they'll also challenge you outside the classroom. How do you apply what you have learned to make this world a little bit of a better place? Where can you go to be better? And now through AFA, I'm applying to go to Equatorial Guinea on an internship in West Africa to learn about how different, at a summit where different African leaders and American leaders will come together and discuss various development projects for Africa. And I'm really proud to say that AFA is awarding me that opportunity. So I'm going places with AFA. I started in Richmond, Kentucky, but now I'm going to Africa, and I'm going all over. So for anyone who wants to join AFA, be prepared to be challenged, but be prepared to open new doors and to go to new places, to become a bigger and a better person, and to give back what you've learned to the community. Thank you.